Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles, and welcome to the first quarterly series check-in of 2024. So I'm going to run through all the series that I have started, completed, caught up on in DNF since my last check-in, which I will have linked in the cards and in the description for you. For a series that I have caught up on, there's only one. Cartel Elements by Asia Monet. I read Heir of Flames twice last year actually, and then I got an arc of Heiress of Roses, which came out in February. Really enjoyed it, really excited for book 3, which I hope will also come out this year, but we'll see. If you are a fan of mafia and cartel romances, then I definitely recommend. In this one, we are following the twin sister of the MMC in book 1, and she is in an arranged marriage to the heir of a rival cartel who is also her brother's ex-best friend. So next I have series that I've started but still need to catch up on, and when I say that I've started, I mean I've only read the first book. So not a lot of progress made just yet, but we will get there. First is Skyland by Kennedy Ryan. So the first one is Before I Let Go. It was a second chance romance and it was okay. It was fine. It was my first Kennedy Ryan. I am intrigued enough to read the next book. However, Robin and I originally chose it for our monthly buddy read for April, and just based on some of the things that we were hearing, decided not to go with it. I do still think I'll read it at some point, but I'm not really rushed to do so. Robin and I also buddy read Theft of Swords, which is the first in the Raya Revelation series, and both of us really liked it. So I'm really actually hoping that we continue the series later in the year and possibly complete it. Next, I read This Poisoned Heart by Kaylin Bayron. This is the first in a duology, I'm pretty sure, and I really liked it. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. Obviously, I was intrigued because I owned a copy of the first book, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, and then it ended on a very huge cliffhanger. So I definitely need to read the second book at some point because I need to know what happens next. Another buddy read from Robin and I, we read the first book in The Burning, Rage of Dragons. So I really liked it. I honestly didn't know what to expect, but I had a really good time with it. I think that war in adult fantasy is a thing that I enjoy in general. I believe the series is supposed to be a quartet. Only the first 2 books are out right now. I kind of feel like I want to wait until we get maybe a little bit more information on book 3, which as of now I have not seen anything. So I don't know, we'll see how that goes, but it was a really good first book. I also started Spy Family, finally. I only read the first volume, but it was such a fun time. It's so cute, it's adorable. I know that I'm gonna like it. I do have the second and third volumes, and I will definitely need to get the rest at some point. I think there are like 11 volumes currently. Depending on how reading down my physical shelves go, we might be able to squeeze the rest of that series in this year too. And I am currently reading Beasts of Prey, so I'm not that far in. I think I'm only maybe 3 chapters in, and I'm intrigued. I just feel like there's kind of a lot going on and I don't really know what's happening. But I'm hoping to possibly continue and finish that trilogy since book 3 is out now. Probably buddy read book 2 with Alana, and then if we like it, hopefully we'll continue. Next is series that I had already started but still need to catch up on. First of all, Bays of Juneteenth. Now last time I said that I was gonna try to finish it by the end of 2023. That didn't happen. I have not picked up a single book in that series since I finished book 2. I have like the next 4 on KU. I just haven't started any of them. I don't know, they're not calling to me, so we'll see. The other one is the Mr. series. Now, when I did my last check-in, I believe that I had read the first 2 books, Mr. Librarian and then the Prelude, where we get introduced to other characters, right? Then I caught up. However, I think it was New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, she released another Prelude, and I was like, fuck. Oh God. And then after that, she released another book. So I'm currently 2 behind, which is fine. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna keep going. I need to know how all of this ends, okay? I really do. And Robin hates it because I've just decided that she has to get all the voice notes and because I need to talk to somebody about it. And she really wants me to stop, but I'm not gonna. And honestly, I think this is just payback for all the times that she's made me read something crazy. So, I mean, this just has to be how it is. But we will be continuing that one. We were caught up. And then she decided to release more. And then I also talked about in the last check-in, I needed to continue with African Immortals by Tananarive Due. I have not yet read Blood Colony. Yeah, I haven't yet read that. It's just so long. I gotta be prepared for it. And with trying to read down my physical shelves because I don't own it, I don't yet feel prepared, but we'll get to that. That series is getting finished in 2024, damn it. Series that I have completed, first is Night Shift by Christina C. Jones. Loved it. I have a series review of it. It is a novel and 2 novellas, but pretty short. They're all in KU. And essentially the concept of it is fated mates, but not in like a fantasy or romantasy setting. And I really like that because I thought I hated fated mates, and apparently I don't. Then we have Death Cast by Adam Silvera. I had already read They Both Die at the End, and then the prequel, The First to Die at the End, I read at the beginning of the year. I liked them both, so if you like that first book, you'll probably enjoy the prequel. If you haven't read them but you're intrigued, I would actually recommend that you read the prequel first. But I like them, so I'm saying it's completed for now, although I am kind of hoping that he writes more in that world because I do still want more of the behind the scenes stuff, and I thought we would get a little bit of that in this one and we kind of didn't, and I feel like there's opportunity for more in that world. Then I read the Sugar Valley series by CCJ. This one is just a duology. From my understanding, I believe she is planning to write more in the series later down the line, but I really enjoyed it. It's really cute, and I mean, it does have some heavy topics in it, but I actually like that in my romance, so I enjoyed it. Robin and I completed the Animal series. Not a great ending. Not a great ending. Kind of actually very disappointing. Very disappointing. The last 2 books were just like not as good as the first 3. And the ending didn't make any fucking sense. Still recommend the series, but ending made no sense. Make sure you listen to the audiobooks. Then I have the Deathless series by Namina Forna. I read the first 2 books last year. 3rd book came out in February and I read it immediately. Loved it. The entire series is 5 stars. Highly recommend if you're a YA fantasy fan. And the last series that I've completed is Serendipitous Love by CCJ. Again, y'all know I'm working through her backlist, so she's going to be on these a lot. This one has 6 novellas in it. I do have a series review of that as well that I will have linked in the cards and the description for you. It is cute, but the recurring themes make it heavy, so just beware of that. And lastly, and always the longest fucking category, is series that I have DNF'd. Starting with The Imperium by Rebecca Yarros. Yes, I did read Iron Flame. I fucking hated it. It was a waste of time. She's trying so hard to be a fantasy writer when she's clearly a romance writer, and she's focusing too much on the wrong thing. She's also just constantly contradicting herself, and I know that we were all in Fourth Wing for the vibes and Talking Dragons, but it's hard to ignore that the logic isn't logicking when she's trying to focus on it so much and not doing a good job. So I am done. I also DNF'd Ice Planet Barbarians. I only read the first book. It wasn't that good. I don't think it's worth the hype. I know people say like book 4 is really good or something like that, like later in the series it gets better. No, thank you, I'm good. I also decided to DNF The Family by Katrina Jackson. I had a love-hate relationship with this series. I liked the first novella, DNF'd the first full novel, liked the second full novel, and I just don't care enough to read the final one. Heather also said that it was pretty disappointing, and I trust her, so I don't feel like I need to read it. I also DNF'd New Heights by CCJ. So I read the first 2 and really liked them, but I DNF'd that last book, Call and Response. The characters weren't speaking to me. I wasn't feeling the chemistry. I felt like their interactions were just odd. I don't know. It's the first time that has ever happened reading a Christina C. Jones book, but it just did not work for me. And I was just like, this is not, I don't know what's happening, but I'm done. I DNF'd at like 72% or something too, but yeah, I just couldn't get into it. Then we have Hot Holiday Hookups by Danielle Allen. I was trying to go through all of these and I don't know why. I thought it would be a fun little venture, except it wasn't. I don't know, a lot of the couples or like the relationships or the scenarios just like were weird to me, and I was just like, this is dumb. So I finally gave up on that one. I know I wanted to do a series review, but nah. So this next one is the Dream Blood duology by N.K. Jemisin, and I DNF'd that first book because it was just slow, right? However, I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it or anything like that, but now I have another N.K. Jemisin book that my brother got me for Christmas. So now I'm thinking about doing a part 2 to my N.K. Jemisin vlog and potentially going back to Dream Blood and then also reading 100,000 Kingdoms. So I don't know, we'll see. I haven't decided yet. Also, talking about N.K. Jemisin, I did say that I was going to go ahead and read The World We Make, but I don't think I'm going to anymore. I kind of just don't care. Yeah, I don't care. So then we have Rizzoli and Isles by Tess Garrison. I'm really sad about this one because I love that TV show and I've been collecting the books for a really long time, but again, this is why we don't buy the whole series before we actually start reading it, because I didn't even make it through book 1. I just didn't care. It's very outdated. I didn't like the way that Jane was described, and it also just doesn't feel like Jane is the main character. Plus Mara's not even in it yet, so I was just like, I don't care. Then we have A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow, which I really enjoyed. I was so pleasantly surprised. I really loved that book. However, the sequel is about a character that I fucking hated in the first one, and I refuse. That bitch is not worthy of redemption. I don't care about her story. I don't care about her character growth. Fuck her. That book don't exist to me. Then I was supposed to read Our Violent Ends, the follow-up to These Violent Delights, and I decided not to because I don't want to have my time wasted, because I realized that's what happened with the first book. We go through all of this stuff and mystery and sleuthing and trying to find answers just to not get any answers, and so I don't care anymore. This might upset a few folk. I DNF'd the Wayward Children series again. I had tried to read Every Heart a Doorway. I wasn't feeling it. I tried listening to the audio this time, made it a little further, and I still don't care. So no, I just think that this series is not for me. I also DNF'd the Priest series by Sierra Simone. I read the first one. It's okay. It's not bad. But do I care enough to keep going? No, I don't think so. I looked at the synopsis for the second one, and now that I realize that we're following the brothers, I kind of don't care. And seeing that the next brother ends up with a nun, I'm just like, okay, how many times are you gonna do this? You know what I mean? So, and actually that was it. So progress, I don't know. Actually, let me check my series spreadsheet and see what our stats are looking like. So as far as series that I have read in 2024, I've started 4, DNF'd 4, caught up on 1, and completed 3. A third of them I DNF'd, a third of them I started but only read that first book in, then a quarter of them I have actually completed. So technically we're not doing great right now. And that's okay, that is fine. But overall, like my overall series, like in general, I have completed the most. I've completed 32% and DNF'd 30%. And the things that I've started, caught up on, or are currently in progress, that is actually a small portion. However, the third largest portion are things that I have not started at all. So series, I should probably actually go through my main series spreadsheet and see if there are any series there that I'm just not going to bother with. I need to do that. We'll do another check-in in about 3 months, see how we're doing. Let me know what series you have started, completed, DNF'd, how you feel about any of the series that I talked about today. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.